Hi guys, so this week we had to watch the movie Serpico and kind of talk about it and give our thoughts on everything and our recommendations. I had actually never seen the movie Serpico. I thought it was really good, and I felt like this movie accurately projects today for it to have been made in like the 1970s and 80s. Like, to me that was unreal because I mean, there are images of how departments are supposed to be. There are standards, and these are things that are kind of like unsaid unless you're actually within those agencies. And this is something that I've experienced. I work with people every single day who have excessive force claims and do stuff that they shouldn't do. And it's kind of just pushed away because it's kind of how we do things and it's how they do things. And it's kind of really eye-opening, and it's something I've always thought about because I want to go into law enforcement for specific reasons of wanting to better and change things for the better. And that's really hard to do when you're starting off as an officer. So to be able to see someone like Frank Serpico kind of represent that throughout the entire film was really good. I mean, everything that he tried to do, the movie accurately explained. Like, I have notes that I took that explains, like, he said that he felt like a criminal because he wasn't taking the money, which is true because he wanted to be an honest cop and he wanted to be different. And he wanted to report like the criminal activities that was taking place and the corruption and all of that. He was treated as less. He was felt as if, everything that he was doing was completely wrong and that he shouldn't do that because it's not the way that they do it. And all the other officers treated him that way because he was expected to take the money and to also participate in, whatever type of corruption that they were doing with the Italians or African Americans or whatever it may be. And, it ultimately resulted in him getting shot at the end of the film. And it kind of accurately showed the officers kind of just let it happen because everyone is so fed up with him and nobody wanted to work with him. Nobody wanted to deal with him because he was different. He was weird and he, fit the standards of wanting to be a part of the community. And no one else wanted that. I loved that he represented someone who wanted to be a part of the community and was a part of the community. He like he was there and he wanted to bring that forth and say, hey, police officers are holding this type of role and this is a problem. We should probably change that. And everybody was looking at him like he was crazy about it, which, kind of ties to me because I'm not going to meet the standards of a police officer whenever I go to do this in the future. I know that I don't. I'm going to be different. It's going to be weird. And I'm not going to stand for the excessive force shit, such as whatever happened with George Floyd's case. If I would have been one of the officers there, I like to tell myself that I would have been the one to stand up and I would have said something. However, it's a lot different when you're actually there and when your entire life is on the line and when this is your whole career and you have family and kids and stuff that you have to take care of. Are you really going to be the one to stand up and say something? I've been in that predicament, just working at the jail, and there are times when I didn't say something and I probably should have. So I definitely think that today, this is happening in today's society. It's a way that has happened because of so many people who are higher up. We've let it happen and nobody's made the changes to actually fix it or do anything about it. The recommendation, in my opinion, is having more officers like Frank Serpico, but that's really hard to do that. As you see, it took him 5 years and he was like, fuck this, because it was just kind of that much for him. And it's like that for everyone in law enforcement. It truly is. I think if we brought more awareness to stuff like this, and maybe, people who are wanting to make these changes, like people like Frank or myself or whomever else, get in these higher roles and be the ones to implement the changes and then push it forth down the chain. They're not all bad officers in this world, obviously. I would never say that I am, and I work in law enforcement. So I think it kind of starts with the awareness, and it starts with the people that are there for them to start making changes and for people to be educated, such as ourselves. People who are taking these classes and in school and whatever it is, they need to be educated so we can implement these changes. I think they are still happening because it's such, You know, it's the way it has been. We're built on a certain foundation within law enforcement of containing control and ruling things that need to happen and maintaining authority. We've been on the same foundation since the day that it was created. And I think it's going to take a lot of time and management and just kind of people being educated to implement these changes. But I'm at 5 minutes. I just want to say that this film was absolutely really good. I'm extremely happy I got to watch it. I'll definitely probably watch it again. He made a statement in there that said the whole system's corrupt, which is absolutely true, unfortunately. But it's up to us on how we can make it not be so corrupt.